And we finished this morning with Mitchell Slutsky. Mitchell came to Columbus Academy as a pre-kindergartner, and he lives in New Albany. Mitchell.
The last two speeches of last year, Kim and John Edgar's, were really powerful to me because on October 23rd, 2001, a life-changing event happened to me which I hope no one ever has to endure. Although my situation was different. I was sitting in Spanish class during third grade when Mr. Kegelmeyer pulled me out of class. He told me to wait in his room. When I got there, I packed my things and waited for whoever was going to get there to pick me up. At the time, I was kind of excited because Coach Collis was in the room, and being the huge football fan that I am, I considered him a celebrity. After waiting about 15 or so minutes, my grandpa arrived and took me back to his house. I sat down on the family room couch, anxiously wondering why I was here. I looked out the window and saw my older sister crying in my dad's arms, along with my grandma. We all gathered on the couch, and Rabbi Nementov came into the room and pulled a chair up right in front of me. He said, "Mitchell, your mother died." At this moment, I had such a numb feeling all over my body, I had no idea how to react. After taking it in, I instantly burst into tears and looked for someone to comfort me. My grandma and grandpa rushed over and hugged me and told me that I would be all right. Me, my sister, and my dad left my grandparents' house and went back to my dad's condo. We laid in bed for hours, just crying. The thoughts were rushing through my head. Was it me? Being I was so distraught, I convinced myself I had something to do with it, which added to the confusion. I did not know how to handle this, and from that moment on, I thought I would never be happy for the rest of my life, and I'd never really have a true family. A few weeks passed, and at random moments, I would break down crying just thinking about my mom. These were the hardest moments to deal with. I remember one specifically when I was in Mr. Kegelmeyer's class, and we were making Mother's Day presents. Again, I started crying. Mr. K pulled me out into the hallway and said, "You can make a positive out of this. You can make something for your grandma." I instantly felt relieved. This was the first time I felt an emotion other than sadness since my mom passed away. Looking back at this was the beginning of my healing process. From that moment on, I promised myself that I would try to make the best out of the situation I was handed. I was now living in my dad's condo with my sister. This was weird to me since my parents were divorced and my mom had primary custody over me. But through this, my dad and I built a relationship that had never existed. We would eat dinner together, do my homework together, and all sorts of father and son activities I had never experienced before. Because my dad's work involved a lot of travel, he could not devote all of his time to me. That's where the Kerner family came in. I would spend every weekend at their house being with Jimmy and his family. Being there allowed me to take my mind off of all my problems and be happy for a while. Times like these were huge for me. Mr. and Mrs. Kerner opened up their house to me without any questions asked. It really felt like I was a part of their family when I was there, and it felt like I had a mom again in Mrs. Kerner. She was so much like a mom during this time and for many years to come that she has now earned the nickname Mama Kern. To this day, I spend a lot of time at their house. I'll punch the garage code in and just walk in without telling anyone. Typically, Mama Kern will be sitting on the couch watching TV or working. She will just say, "Hey Mitch, you hungry?" Most people would say, "What are you doing in my house?" But not Mama Kern. Through this, I also gained another sibling, just like Kim's relationship with Anthony. To be completely honest, I would not consider Jimmy my friend. I would consider him my brother. We have a brotherly relationship. He will prevent me from doing stupid things most of the time, or I will convince him to do the stupid things. Either way, we are brothers. I also hope for him to do well, and when he does, I feel a sense of pride. Mr. Kerner, who has earned the nickname Papa Smurf, was there for me too. For most of you who don't know Jim, he is a quiet guy to say the least. But he would give me rides whenever I needed them, and more importantly, make me laugh whenever I was at their house. One story I distinctly remember was when a group of us were at a friend's lake house at Buckeye Lake, and I had to go eat dinner with my family. So my grandma came and picked me up, and I ate dinner with them. But after, I wanted to go back to the lake house. So without any questions asked, Mr. Kerner brought me back to the lake house. The thing that makes this so amazing was that Jimmy was already there, so he just drove me. I was able to allow the Kerners to come into my life so easily because I knew they were not trying to replace my mom. Rather, they were just trying to help out one of Jimmy's friends. Although I was able to be happy for those short spurts when I was at the Kerners, I was still healing and far from where I needed to be. I stopped relying on the Kerners so much when my dad got married to my stepmom, Helene. Unlike Mrs. Kerner, Helene was going to be the new permanent woman figure in my life. At that point, I was not ready for this and didn't know how to feel about having another woman figure in my life. Originally, I didn't like Helene at all and resented her as much as I could. I was afraid she was going to try to replace my mom, and I was protective of her in my heart and in my memories. A prime example of this was on my parents' wedding day. I purposely forgot my shoes to try to delay the wedding. Since they have been married, everything has been pretty good. More importantly, Helene has never expected me to call her mom or tried to replace her. The one thing that she has asked is that I refer to her as a bonus mom rather than a stepmom. So Helene, you're the greatest bonus mom a kid could wish for. Still, I felt like something was missing in my life. I didn't feel like I was at the point where I could say, I am truly happy. But I didn't know what it was. Then, on October 2nd, 2005, 3 new lives were brought into my household. My bonus mom, Helene, and my dad had triplets. William Eli, Caleb James, CJ, and Natalie Kate, Neetums. I don't know where that nickname originated from, but that's what I call her. But to put it simply, there's never been a quiet moment in my house since the triplets have been on this planet. But I've loved all 3 of them from the moment they came home. As if 3 wasn't enough, on June 18th, 2007, Charlotte Alana was born. Her nickname is Hingu. That one I really have no idea how I came up with. I was just muttering sounds to her, and I guess it stuck. Anyways, as much trouble as they're definitely worth it. One minute they will be fighting and getting on your nerves, the next minute they will do something that literally makes your heart melt. I was sitting in my room one day after school, and CJ came up to my room. He was supposed to be in the family room, so I said, CJ, what are you doing? He responded with, Mitchell, I want to be in here with you. So of course I gave in as I always do. I didn't make him go back downstairs. About 2 minutes later, out of nowhere, CJ said, Mitchell, I love you. That was honestly one of the best moments of my life. I'd never been told so innocently and unexpectedly that someone loved me. This made me realize that maybe my life isn't that bad, and that I have that family I've desired since my mom passed away. I can finally say that I am at a stage in my life where I am again happy. My family life is good, other than the poopy diapers and crying in the middle of the night. I have a good group of friends and people who are always there for me. The point that I'm trying to make here is that when something drastic happens to you, no matter how bad it is, you'll be able to get over it. I've been through probably one of the toughest experiences anyone could ever endure. But because of what has been given to me, I no longer have the view that I would never be happy again. And so when I think of the Kerners, Helene, my grandparents, the triplets, and Charlotte, I realize that what has come to me has been love. While nothing can replace my mom, incredibly good things have happened to me, and I'm glad to say I was wrong and never gave up hope. Thank you.